What up, all you nerds and geeks? It's your boy Pat, aka That Varsity Geek, here with another video for you guys today. And over this whole coronavirus pandemic time, I was just kind of thinking to myself, I wonder what kind of effect it'll have on, video games, the gaming industry and stuff like that. And actually, I think it might have a pretty big effect on gaming and esports the way that we know them today. Now, I've been an avid gamer most of my life, and I know a lot of gamers like me watch various forms of gaming content on the internet, on TVs, through streaming, all sorts of areas like that. And we're watching stuff, whether it be to help us through portions of video games that we're trying to get through, just trying to watch some entertaining content, all various types of reasons. And for a long time, there have been gaming competitions and gaming tournaments where people come to compete in video games, and there's always people who are there just to watch, because watching video games is entertaining. And all that ramped up to the point where we now have ESports, which are giant video game competitions and tournaments that are broadcast on TV and through streaming. So now you can literally make a living off of playing video games, whether you're a streamer on Twitch like Ninja is, or by competing in esports or in esports leagues. All kinds of ways to actually make money being a gamer now. But in the past, society's view on gamers and gaming culture really hasn't been overwhelmingly positive. People, especially adults and parents, always saw gaming as lazy, unproductive, and ultimately not very helpful. Even though research has shown that gaming helps with your hand-eye coordination, your ability to process information faster, your overall mental acuity, higher brain function, and problem-solving skills. So gaming really does have a lot of benefits when you're talking about stretching out your mind and being able to problem solve. So it's really just based on people's biased opinions and things that they don't understand. And I'm old enough to remember getting asked the question, are you just watching somebody play video games? Are you just watching video game content? And getting questions like that is something that any avid gamer is going to understand, because all of us have been asked that question at one point or another. Overall, gaming culture as a whole has really been misunderstood as a lot and really isn't respected as a craft. But if you think about watching people play video games and video game culture, people have literally been doing this forever. Back in the day when you used to have people over to your house, when you guys were playing the video games, only two of you really could play at a time, and so everybody couldn't play. And watching other people play while you were waiting for your turn was just as entertaining as it was for you to actually have your turn playing the video game. And we even had G4 TV, which is a channel that was really dedicated and devoted to gaming culture and tech culture, with shows like X-Play, Attack of the Show, all those kinds of things. And ultimately, I think a lot of this hate stems from people not really understanding and accepting video games as a worthwhile craft like you do sports. However, in recent years, people have started to blur the line between, nerd, geek, athlete, movie star, high-profile person, etc. And you have a lot of high-profile people expressing their love for geek culture, gaming culture, and other things that back in the day people just wouldn't have expressed and you wouldn't have known that they were into. And I think that the shift that this brought on in public opinion really helped lead to where we are now with esports, to the point where you can really make significant amounts of money playing video games, joining esports leagues, streaming, getting watches, etc. And honestly, I think that this pandemic is only going to help propel gaming and esports culture to another level. During this pandemic, all other sporting events and those kind of things were canceled. And because of that, people were looking for something to do. And one of the biggest things that people turned to during this time was video games. Gaming systems were flying off the shelf to the point where you couldn't even get a Nintendo Switch if you were looking for one. I know, because I have a whole bunch of friends and stuff that were looking for them, and you couldn't purchase them really anywhere, whether online or in person at a store. And big companies were even putting out advertisements telling people to stay home and play video games as stress relief. And because of that, the overall views for gaming related content shot up, because people were really looking for something to break up the monotony of being stuck at home, and video games was a really easy way to do that. And then you even had events like the NBA 2K tournament that was put on by ESPN, where they had a whole bunch of NBA athletes actually playing 2K against each other. The NBA players were like, yeah, we want to be out here playing video games too. And we want to give the people some entertainment, something to watch. So let's have an NBA 2K tournament. Let's see which of us basketball players is really the best at 2K. And you had fans clamoring to watch this, because it was enough sports adjacent that people who were only into sporting events were like, oh yeah, I like Kevin Durant, I like DeAndre Ayton, I like these players, I'll watch them play 2K. And then you even had events like the Madden League Championship and the 2K Championship that are usually on ESPN, but aren't as high profile, bumped up into higher slots, because there just wasn't a lot going on and they could afford to do it, and it was as close to sporting related content as they could get at the time. And because of that, a lot more people were exposed to the idea of watching video games or watching people play video games on TV. And to put it simply, after this pandemic, I think the large amount of increased exposure that gaming culture and esports got will help people have a better opinion on these kinds of things in the future. And I think it's just really going to help people's opinion of esports and gaming culture as a whole improve to the point where I think that esports is going to become an even bigger part of our society. But I know that we're always going to have to deal with people thinking that gaming is a waste of time and it's not so much of a sport as other things are, but that just comes with the territory. And if activities like golf, ultimate frisbee, heck, even cornhole can get recognized as legitimate sports, I think that video games and esports really can do the same, especially with this boom that they got from the pandemic and everything that's going on right now. So those are just my thoughts of it. I hope that this can actually be a big boon for the video game community and it can help people's opinions become better. But what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that I'm right and that esports is going to take a tick up after this? Do you think that I'm just wrong and people aren't going to appreciate video games that way? What have your experiences been with video games over the pandemic? Just chop it up and tell me what you think. I've been Pat, that Varsity Geek, here with some more geek-related content for you guys. Peace out, and go play some games.